is our anthem. You know. Here, when they mention in the constitution, that the president. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this edition that we call Face to Face. And in today's Face to Face, I'm hosting this familiar face that is no longer to be introduced. It's Yves Mayele again. Yves Mayele, welcome to Congo TV.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vital. I'm happy again to be on the show.
Great. How are you doing, first of all?
I'm doing good, man. You know, according to the situation, everything's messed up, but you know, we still thank God for everything.
Yeah. So how's COVID-19 treating you?
Oh man, too bad. You know, just staying home and you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a lot of things that we cannot do.
You know, as you know yourself.
Yeah. It's like so. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're gonna discuss about Congo, and we're gonna go to Burundi. We're going to discuss a little bit about Burundi, since there's a lot of stuff that have been going around in Burundi, you know, with the death of their president, with the new president, with the election and COVID-19. There are a lot of things that are going on in Burundi. So we're going to discuss about Congo, and then we're going to go into Burundi after that. So first thing, if, you know, Felix Tshisekedi, when he came in power, he said he wanted to fight corruption. And now his cabinet director has been sentenced to 20 years in prison for embezzling of the public fund, mismanagement of the public fund. How did you which they're saying is for about $48 million. What was your reaction when you heard that he was sentenced to 20 years in prison?
Yes, first of all, thank you for the question, and then for all Congolese, and I'm one of them, I'm pretty sure most of the Congolese people are happy about what our government system have done through this case. So yes, I would say that it's kind of like gives us hope, or showing that our country, Congo, or country in the region, or even most of African countries, they're always being considered as corrupted countries. Or countries that has a lot of cryptocracy leaders. So that kind of gives us hope, saying that maybe one day we might get out of that kind of intention.
Yes. Now, Vital Kamerhe's sentencing includes 20 years in prison, and then after that he's going to stay 10 years without voting, without being able to stand in as a candidate in elections. Yes, so all these
or even running.
He cannot run. So all these restrictions, and also they're gonna block or confiscate the account of his wife, his stepdaughter, some family members, then some things that the court estimates that they bought or purchased those things with the money that they stole.
They'll return them back to the government.
Yeah. Now, plus all those things, all that sentencing, the years he's gonna live in prison, all that stuff. Do you think it's enough, or do you think it's too much?
Yes. For me, even though I'm not a judge or I'm not the one who's controlling the system, I would say that it's enough. It's enough for my own perspective. Because that kind of gives other people the awakening or the alert to know that if I'm being in that kind of situation, or if I'm being involved in corruption, that's going to happen to me.
End up like
because as you can tell yourself, Vital Kamerhe, he's not him only. He's just one of them. There's a lot of people in our system that are
very
being
corrupt
or being in that kind of involvement.
Yes. So you think is the sentencing is enough? Yeah,
the sentencing enough so far, I would say yes.
Do you also think some people are saying no, the judges did not have enough proof that he stole? Do you think the sentencing of Vital Kamerhe is correct, or do you think the judges did not have enough proof according to everything that you've heard?
So far, for what I've heard in the news or people's opinion, I would say that the justice or the government they tried their best to provide evidence and proof showing that he really take the money from the government.
And it wasn't used correctly.
So I mean, I'm giving my point of view or
Sure,
my opinion. So I'm not sure if he will take the money, but according to what the government or the judges for the proof they've shown to him,
Yeah.
showing that he's the one who really took the money from the government. I mean, I would say that that was a fair judgment. Yes.
Okay, and here's the another thing. The contract that Vital Kamerhe, so that's one of the jobs that was in the 100 days program of the president.
Yes.
That he introduced when he came in power, and that contract was of 57 million.
50.
And the contract was given to this guy called Jamal. He's I think from Lebanon.
From Lebanon. He's a Lebanese.
Okay, guy, good. So the guy, after receiving the money,
Yes.
they're saying he only in all that amount, 57 million out of 57 million, he only spent 8 million to order all the houses that were supposed to be brought. And then they're saying after 2 days 35 million was withdrawn from his account, and he doesn't explain where the money went. And around that same time, Vital Kamerhe's entourage, like his family members, his wife and his
they're showing off the
they started
luxurious
yes,
cars,
their accounts
yes.
started filling out with money. Don't you think all those are just proofs that he was involved in some type of corruption? And
I would say that was one of the proofs. But the thing that shocked me, or that really gives me the idea of saying that Vital Kamerhe was really responsible for the involvement or for the judgment, is that because when the president introduced the 100 days plan
program
for building houses and doing other government
stuff. Houses, hospitals, roads, a lot of stuff.
Exactly. So when he introduced that project, he Vital Kamerhe was one of Felix Tshisekedi's allies, and he really trusted him for everything. As you can see, their coalition, they made together the agreement of running our country.
And that's why Felix Tshisekedi named him as his cabinet director too.
Yes. So he really trusted him, and he appointed him to be the one responsible for the project.
He was the coordinator.
Yes. But and then they gave him some agreement or some decision saying that for him to take money out of the government, there have to be some people to sign the letter.
Yeah,
that's
the law.
That was the law. There have to be some people there to sign the letter or the paper saying that
to allow him.
Today he's taken this amount of money out of government account or whatever. So, but at the first time he
followed the process.
He followed the process or the procedure. But and then one of the guys that was supposed to sign on the letter, if I'm not wrong, was Justin Bitakwira.
Okay.
He's one of the deputy
former
minister
minister.
and stuff. Yeah. Justin Bitakwira. So he signed the papers for the first time, but for the second time, he did not receive any notification to requesting him that he has to come and sign the paper. But the money, Vital Kamerhe still took the money out of the government.
So Vital Kamerhe kind of put him aside.
Yes. So when the president or the head of state, Felix Tshisekedi, introduced the program or the operation, he called it operation of in French they said opération de main propre. When he introduced of clean hands. When he introduced the operation, then the judges or ministers of justice, they start following everything that going in the government system. And then when they came to Vital Kamerhe project and all his his involvement, they really see that there is something going on. That's when they spot him.
Okay. Now here, some people think this case is political. Do you think something is not clear about this case? Do you think there's some black hands in kind of pushing the judges maybe here and there, trying to manipulate things so that Vital Kamerhe was, gets, because some people thought Felix Tshisekedi is trying to get him arrested so that Vital Kamerhe doesn't become the president in 2023. Some people are also saying it's Kabila who is doing this to revenge on Kamerhe. Do you think did this trial or this case seem to be political in any way to you?
Yes, thank you very much for the question again. Yes, according to what Vital Kamerhe and Felix Tshisekedi they have been through, their coalition, they went to Nairobi, Kenya, before even the election that happened in 2018. They call it Accord of Nairobi, or in French they say Coalition Cas de Changement. So when they signed everything, say that Felix Tshisekedi, he's the one who has to run from 2019 to 2023. And then from that point, Vital Kamerhe has to take power from 2023 to 2028. So, I mean, that can give people the idea of political confrontation between those two people, yes.
But they were still working good, though, so... And even now, Vital Kamerhe is not accusing Felix Tshisekedi. He's saying, even at the last day, he say, "I know they are not attacking me; they are attacking Felix Tshisekedi." So Felix Tshisekedi Felix Tshisekedi and Vital Kamerhe still seem like they're still friends, but people are saying.
From my own point of view, as you can see, that's politics, man. It's politics. One of your friends that was working in the cabinet, being jailed for 20 years, and after 20 years, he has to serve other 10 years from not serving in any political office. I mean, that gives you the idea of there's a lot of deception between them.
So Felix Tshisekedi, if he helped Kamerhe not get sentenced, if he tried to help in any way so that Kamerhe doesn't get sentenced to what he has gone through, don't you think he would have been doing the opposite of what he said his vision was, to fight corruption?
Yes, so far I would say that Felix Tshisekedi, he really did his best to get everything in order. In short, I would say that. But again, you can say that Vital Kamerhe, he really done the opposite to ideas that Felix Tshisekedi had, because according to his project that he announced when he was elected of 100 days, that was a very good project. That was going to help a lot of population or in area the government system. So for in general, we can say that Vital Kamerhe really disappointed Felix Tshisekedi. In general, he disappointed the Congolese population or the country. So that's what I can say.
Because I remember Felix Tshisekedi in the campaign, he also said when it comes to matters that was concerning the country, even if you're my best friend, you are found you are found in dirty cases, the justice is gonna arrest you. Don't you think that's what he's letting the justice system do? Because I think in every country, the justice system, if the justice system is just independent, the country works good. See, in the United States, Donald Trump almost got impeached here, because the justice system is just independent. Don't you think that's what we need, even just all over Africa, the justice system to be independent, so that we know, so that every leader can be, leading according to the laws of the country?
Yes, I would agree with your idea, but again, in the United States, it's totally different. As you can say that Donald Trump, when he was about to be impeached, he was like that. He had a lot of senates from his political party, which is a Republican political party.
Yeah, but at least that process.
So that gave him advantage to not being impeached.
Yeah, but at least that process even started, though. At least that process even started. But in some countries, that cannot even happen. It cannot even start.
Yes. According to what you've been watching on TV, or if you've been following the news on what's happening in our country, so there is the government system, it needs to be restored first of all. If the government system is being restored,
don't you think it's the justice system that would do that job?
The head of state is the one irresponsible, and then again the constitution needs to be amended. there is some some laws
That are
that
very
needs to
bad.
be taken from the
Yeah.
constitution. So if all those corners or all those sides are being restored or are being corrected, I'm pretty sure we can have some change in our countries too.
Great. So
Yes.
it's a long way to go. Now, let's go to Burundi because we're not going to stay here forever. So let's go to Burundi. Burundi just lost their president that led their country for 15 or almost 15 years. Who is Pierre Nkurunziza, or Peter Nkurunziza in English. He served the country for that long, and after organizing the election, he ended up dying. First question: do you think those elections were run? Do you think those elections were free and fair elections? Do you think there was honesty and truth in those elections?
Yes, for my own experience, I've been in Burundi for 15 years. So
It's a
for
very long
my
time, yeah.
for my own experience, and then I would say that the election was done in the correct way. Because when I used to be in Burundi, I used to have Burundian friends, and they used to say when I used to ask them about their political affiliation, they used to say that they're happy of the government system. So I would say that the election was done there in the right way.
Don't you
My
think?
own point of view, of my own perspective.
Now that guy is a dictator, though. How do you expect to have true and honest, election from a dictator? If somebody was able to rig a third, term
Term
of to stay in power and
leadership.
rule the country, don't you think that was just dictatorship that he used? Because what did the court do when he wanted to do it? Didn't the court just go with his
Forgive,
decision
yes.
because he was powerful? Don't you think he was dictator?
Yes, I mean, I'm not being offended with your opinion, but
That's a question.
Yes, I mean, I would say that he was not a dictator. I mean, according to what he's been doing to Burundian population, I mean, they were all satisfied of. I mean, you cannot be liked by all people, but the majority of the population were saying that he was doing a very, very good job.
He was silencing the opposition.
The only problem is that happened. It was back in 2015, because according to their constitution, it used to say that a president has to run 2 terms.
Yeah.
Of 2015 or for 5 years, which is 10 years including together. But he was denying, saying that the first time that he ran from 2005 to 2010, the population didn't elect him. He was elected by deputies.
Okay.
So,
excuses.
The coup, the attempt of coup happened in 2015.
Which didn't
The
work out.
guy who was Godefroid Niyombare attempted he tried to
overthrow him.
to overthrow him out of power. But at the end of the day, he came back in the country and then
Negotiated with him?
they negotiated. The guy ran away from the country.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, I would say that that's the only problem
Of Pierre
people
Nkurunziza.
be saying about him.
But Burundi today is even food is a problem. How can you lead a country for 15 years and not be able to take it to a certain level that people can say, yeah, this is presentable, that people can really appreciate? Don't you think people are just appreciating him out of ignorance? Because leading a country for 15 years, you do great things.
I know. I mean, I'm sure you're correct of your question, but I mean, it's not only Burundi. Try to look all the countries in the region.
Yeah.
Or most of African countries. I mean, we still having the difficulties on the economy, difficulties on finance, living conditions. There is a lot of stuff. It's not only in Burundi.
Yeah.
I mean, again, as I told you, from my own point of view, or the experience I had living in the country for nearly 15 years, I would say that he tried his best, because before him to get into power, people used to pay people used to pay for school, we can say the primary school and the high school.
Had to pay.
People used to pay money, but when he was elected to be a president, he said that all people would no longer pay school fees, starting from kindergarten to high school. They'll no longer pay for tuition or school fees. You know, that's a good example. Which we don't have it in Congo. People pay in
Primary is
school.
free now.
It's free now. I mean, it's now, but them that's that situation they started a long time ago.
It's good.
Yeah, which is really nice. It's not only for school, even pregnant women for deliverance it's free, and
Okay.
then for treatment of illness from kids starting from age of 1 to 5, it's free. That's good, you know. He constructed roads. I mean, he's tried his best. I mean, I'm not being proud of what he done, but
You think he did?
I'm kind of being fair and comparing him from other
Leaders in other
leaders
countries.
in the region or other leaders of most of African countries.
So he did something. You
I'll say
think?
that he tried his best to to make everything in order. Yes.
Now, Pierre Nkurunziza's wife
Yes.
contacted COVID-19,
Yes.
and they took her to Kenya. Yes, that's where she was.
Yes.
getting
Yeah, she was
from?
taken to Nairobi.
Nairobi, okay.
Yes.
So why? Okay, now himself he was telling the people God is gonna protect them.
Yes.
Don't you think he was just running away from that job of sensibilizing the people and just putting in place like the infrastructure, like hospitals in place and all the treatment centers? Don't you think he was running away from doing all that job and he was just telling people to not be scared of this thing?
Yes, I mean, I would agree with your decision or with your point of view. But again, I would say that, when this coronavirus broke down around the world, most of people, they had a misunderstanding of the virus or of what's happening in the world. So I can say he was one of them who really did not understand of what's going on. Because you can say, I mean, even his death that just happened a couple weeks ago. People have been saying that that was a poison. That was not even a heart attack, according to what his government have announced on on television. That was a poison, and then his wife also. That was a poison she was given, and then that's why she went even in Nairobi to get medical treatment. So I mean, I'm not really sure of
What
happened around there.
So some people are saying it's COVID-19, some people are saying it's poison, some people are
Yes,
saying it's heart attack.
There's a lot of rumors. There's a lot of rumors. You cannot. I mean, let's just trust for what his government said. The government said he was died from heart attack.
And
Let's just
different.
go with it. But I mean, if we try to do other research, you could tell that there's a lot going on behind his death or behind the
His
system.
wife. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Now, here's the thing that I've seen in most countries, with most of African leaders, is they don't put enough effort in improving the health sector, like the medical system.
Yes.
They don't want to improve the state of their hospitals and all that stuff, just the health sector. And when they fall sick, when the ministers, the president, and their family members fall sick, they go abroad to get treatment. They go to Europe, even just other places in Africa where they think the health system is better. And when they do that, they spend so much money outside. But wow, their people are getting very poor treatment. And don't you think that's what Nkurunziza is doing? When your wife falls sick of COVID-19, you take her abroad. So what's happening to the people? Don't you think it's a very big mistake that African leaders are doing? Don't you think they should improve their health system instead of going abroad, and so they can save money?
Yes. First of all, I agree with your opinion. Yes, that's a very big problem in most of African countries.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, there's no way you can. You can get medical attention abroad of your country, and then instead of building a hospital, a very big hospital with very
Good
experienced
material,
doctors, I mean, at the end of the day, when once you need a medical attention or medical treatment, you go to that hospital, and your population will gain the,
Yeah, you also benefit from that.
will benefit from there.
You save
So
money too.
I mean, it's not only in Burundi. It's most of African
Yeah.
countries. They do have that problem. Yes, yeah. So yeah, I will argue with your ideas.
Okay, now here's the thing. Pierre Nkurunziza, when he's stepping down from power,
Yes.
his retirement package was going to involve a one-time payment of $530,000.
Yes.
Also, a mention of where he was going to choose himself, where they want him to build it from.
Yes.
They build for him a mansion, and not just that, also get benefits equivalent to those of the prime minister.
He even had a chance to run one more time.
Oh man, and
Added
also
to that, yes.
also payments, a monthly payment equivalent to the one for like members of parliament.
Yes.
Don't you think that's
And
just
he's
too
not,
much?
and he's not running the country.
You're not working. Don't you think that's just too much? Don't you think that's just too much, wanting to keep getting money for nothing? Well, the country is poor. Don't you think that's just too much?
Yes, I mean,
That's not love for the country.
that was really bad. I even heard from that news. I even read some documentation about that. That's really bad. I
It's
mean,
just that being selfish.
it's really big selfish. I mean, according to African countries,
Yeah.
when they are in the economic development,
Yeah.
so and adding $500,000, that's $500,000. So
Yeah,
that's a lot of money.
$500,000.
When very poor population, they even get less than $1 a
Yeah,
day.
each
So
for one less than $1.
that's really being selfish.
That's like Kabila. Kabila now, he gets paid, I think, $670,000 every month. Well, the people are as miserable. Like, you rule a country for 18 years.
18 years.
You're living.
There's a lot of advantages you gain from
Yeah.
the government.
But
Yeah, man. Most of African government system, there's a lot to restore. It's only in Burundi, it's only in the region, it's only in Congo. It's most of the countries. There's a lot to restore because people are being selfish. The people are treating their population as slaves. You
Yeah.
know? So that's really bad. Yeah, that's really bad. Yes.
okay, now Burundi has a new president.
Yes.
Pierre Nkurunziza was supposed to step down in August, right?
In August
But unfortunately,
20th, yes.
and then he died,
Yeah.
and now he just died. And even all those. Do you know what's gonna happen to those benefits, though? Do you think he's gonna go to his family, or is it not gonna happen anymore? Do you know?
For that one, I would say I don't know yet, but
Maybe to his family.
I mean, the president that was elected to be the head of state, he's from his political party, so their
probably gonna do it.
idealistic or their ideology, he means same ideology. He can
maybe
he can confirm.
make it happen.
He can confirm. He can make it happen, as you just said yourself. He can make it happen. Or we don't know yet that one. I mean, we still are having we're doing some research about it, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna still giving his wife
Okay.
the money. Yes.
So now I was saying we have a new president in Burundi. How do you see that president? Is he going to be do you think he's going to be a dictator? Because I didn't watch this, but I heard he said something like no freedom of speech to the opposition leader or oppositions or anything. How do you see him? Do you see him as somebody who's going to be bring democracy, or somebody who's going to be dictator? How do you see him? What's his name again? I even forgot his name.
Yeah, his name is Evariste Ndayishimiye. General Evariste Ndayishimiye. I mean, the guy. I mean, he worked a lot with the former president, which was Pierre Nkurunziza. When they founded the Rebo in 1993.
They were together.
There was a lot. Even the president of National Assembly, which is Pascal Nyabenda.
They were together too.
They were all together in the Rebels. So, for him, as most of Burundian people saying, or most of ex-parties saying, that was not a very big change, because the guy who was elected to be the president, he was the secretary of the former president, which is Nkurunziza. Think of secretary. He knows all the secrets.
Yeah.
He was the secretary. He was the minister of interior. He's done a lot of things in the Burundi government system. So
it's still private.
People are saying that they are not expecting the
Big
changes
change
that.
from him.
Yeah,
So it's like another Pierre Nkurunziza.
there's like another Pierre Nkurunziza. I just said so.
Okay, now Pierre Nkurunziza is dead. Do you think Evariste Ndayishimiye is gonna work in some type of independence? Don't you think if Pierre Nkurunziza was still there, he would have been kind of
Yeah, that's what a lot of people were saying, that Pierre
commanding
Nkurunziza chose him to be his political puppet. So I mean, surprisingly, Pierre Nkurunziza is dead. So I mean, there's something we are expecting from him that me and you not yet see. But I mean, he still has a problem. You know, first of all, he has a problem with these Western countries. Burundi has some sanction from the United States, from the European countries. I even heard from the news yesterday that Burundi has been sanctioned from United States, that they will no longer give a Burundian population a passport or visas to come to the United States. So he was saying that he wanted to work from that, and then people asked him, do you know what was the reason? And he was saying that it's because the United States had deported some Burundian people from United States to Burundi. They took them there, but when they took them to Burundi, the government denied them, and then the United States government, they got mad about that, saying that how can we deport your people and you don't want to accept them? So that's really bad. But he was saying that they were in the election, and the government was not in a stable way, so he was giving a lot of excuses. I mean, I think they'll be excused from that, but he really has some bigger steps or some bigger
challenges
to face right now, according to from what his former president has done. Yes.
Great. If this brings us to the end of this interaction, any last words to our spectators?
Thank you very much, Mr. Vitale, for the conversation. We've had a very beautiful conversation again. Yes, the thing that I can say for my fellow Congolese is that let's expect more from our government system, from what they are doing right now in these issues like Mr. Vitale Kamere just go through. So that thing as young Congolese or Congolese population, that kind of gives me hope that one day we can get out of these kleptocracy leaders or corruption in our country. Yes, thank you so much.
Great. Yves, thank you very much. It was a pleasure to have you here again today. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of this interaction. May God be with us. May God protect us. Remember, we are still together. Diferencias entre vino here, when they mention in the constitution that the president I can